What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 65 of the Brahma Bullpen. And as you can tell by the crazy reactions here at the Cow Pasture today, producer's back. Producer, where the heck you been?
Well, I keep getting kicked off the show. I don't know. You have these other guests. I don't know. I haven't been here, but glad to be back.
Well, welcome back. And I want everybody to know there's no abuse that happens in this show. He wasn't kicked off anything. He
Oh, I was
merely doesn't
Joke.
like being on a show with three people because he feels like there's too much going on. So let's just
You
get
can
that out
only
there.
have so many cameras on the TV
Yeah.
at one time. On the YouTube or the TV, wherever. Only so much at one time. But I'm glad to be back.
Well, welcome back. We're going to get into the show. Episode 65 is loaded like always. We know we got training camp. We're going to start off with some roster news. This is the Brahma Bullpen. We're going to definitely cover Brahma roster news. We're going to share some San Antonio Brahma events for the locals down here in San Antonio who want to go to that. We're going to have some training camp video, some highlights. Not a whole lot of news coming out of training camp, but we do have an interview that was done by KSAT 12 here in San Antonio with Kellen Mond, our QB1. So we're going to show that to you later. We're going to cover a little news about the Alamo Dome. A few episodes back, we did talk about Project Marvel here in San Antonio and how it's going to a vote, which what does that have to do with the Brahmas? Well, the Brahmas play in the Dome, and a huge chunk of that vote for that project is Alamo Dome upgrades. And then we're going to end the episode with what everybody's talking about, strike information. What's the latest? What's the greatest? We'll talk to you about what Mike Mitchell and the UFL News Hub bringing into that, and we'll give you our 2 cents on the updated info. But if you don't like strike news, just don't watch the whole episode. But if you want to stick around for strike news, do that. You ready, producer?
We're loaded, man. We're loaded. We got a full show.
We got a full show. First things first. Brahma News. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. To me, it's a little dorky, but hey, at least it's something, right? A little extra.
I love the spinning graphic there. Looks good.
Yeah, a little extra pizzazz. But first things first, we have happy but sad news. So last week, I was able to reach out to you, Alex Mollette. Many people know Alex Mollette was on one of our early episodes of the Brahma Bullpen, and he was one of my first interviews. So we've kind of stayed in touch throughout the years, and he has officially retired from spring football from the San Antonio Brahmas. I believe the exact quote he told me was it was time for him to grow up and get a real job, in his knees, his knee surgeries that he had to go through. It was just time. So we just want to say thank you to Alex Mollette. We appreciate you giving of yourself down here for the Brahmas and that nice championship run last year. For those of you who don't remember, we're going to honor Mollette here, and we're just going to play a highlight video of the greatest big man touchdown of all times, just so everybody can relive the glory of Alex Mollette.
58 is some kind of leg, and now look at this. They're going to motion here on 4th down and 11, and the punter, Brad Wing, takes the snap. He wants to throw. Brad Wing lofts it downfield, and it's caught to the goal line. Touchdown!
Man, you know what, Bullpen?
It's the center, Alex Mollette.
What a player.
It's mayhem.
We'll miss him.
Wait for this interview. Watch this.
All right.
Don't get no better. Brahma fans going rowdy.
Alex.
Heck yeah. You have to, right?
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go Brahmas! Woo! Hey! Brad Wing's gonna motion.
That's how a big man should interview. Right?
Heck yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
As you see right here, Alex Mollette was lined up on the edge of the line of scrimmage, so he was an eligible.
We don't need to listen to Achu, but it's crazy, man, to think about him going for that touchdown and scoring that way. He made it on the Pat McAfee podcast. The thing was national news all over ESPN. It was a great touchdown. Everybody enjoyed it. And the ball wasn't even supposed to be thrown to him, in case anybody's wondering. There was like 3 other options, and he was like the only option if something real crazy happened. Well, the crazy happened, so there we go. But what do you got to say about old Mr. Mollette there, producer?
Oh man, what a player! Leadership, skill, just effort. That's the kind of things you look for to lead a football team. We're gonna miss him, but I know the Brahmas also will sign excellent players to fill that position, fill that need. But you hate to see a guy like that go, but it's for understandable reasons. So, Mr. Mollette, we love you. Sorry to see you go, but we get it, man. Congratulations on a great career.
Yeah, so for those of you, most of us do know, Millette did miss a lot of time last year due to injury, and we had a gentleman by the name of Sam Tecklenburg that filled in quite nicely, played over 400, I think it was exactly 472 snaps, if I remember correctly, and gave up 0 sacks at the center position. So I think we're going to be all right there, but Millette was one of my favorites. And in case you guys are still wondering, he's my pinned tweet under my Twitter account, my X account. So you guys can check that. I'm sure most of you have seen that already. But going on to more Brahmas news, we got roster signing. So here we got Derek Kelly being officially signed by the Brahmas. We got Haseen Hall being cut by the Brahmas. And we'll talk about why that's significant here in just a second. I threw a little James Larson tweet in here about Dormady being cut. Crazy deal. Dormady got traded from the Brahmas to the Showboats for a linebacker. Then the linebacker retired from football, and now Dormady gets cut. So the whole trade was kind of pointless. And it was also weird because they just did media days on Thursday and Friday last week, and Dormady was there taking pictures and doing videos and Showboat swag and everything, and then gets cut. So it's kind of a weird situation. We don't know what the whole story is behind it. There was a report out that on Instagram he was talking about not wanting to be away from his family for the whole season down in Arlington. So, but who knows? Maybe it was a mutual parting of ways there. But Dormady is no longer with the Showboats, and the Showboats are looking for a quarterback three for the Showboats. And I know a couple episodes ago, producer, you said he was going to be the starter, and now he's gone.
Well, he definitely he had some talent, good quarterback in some aspects. He had some weaknesses, but all I'll say about him is I like him as a individual. He's a man who loves hunting.
You spend a lot of time. You spend a lot of time. You spend a lot of time off the field with him, or what?
No, just watch him post, man.
Oh,
but
okay.
hey,
you judge people if you like them based upon what you see on social media. Is that what you're telling me?
You're going hard today.
Oh,
hey. You know what? Memphis got to do what Memphis got to do. I don't know how things looked in training camp so far, but yeah, hey, I guess he didn't make the cut. It is what it is.
Well, speaking of cuts and signings, here's a plethora of Larson tweets. Got them pulled up on the screen for you right now. And we talked about the Haseen Hall being cut. Why is that big news? Anthony McFarland has been signed. We're going to talk more about him in a second. But also, we have a new wide receiver, Kawan Baker. We also have a new defensive tackle, Jalen Twineman. But he was here with the Brahmas last year. So we lost. LaDamian Webb has been cut. Matt Siebert's been cut. I don't know if y'all watched our tight end episode. Matt Siebert, we did like that little extra Matt Siebert post. So he's down. So now we're down. We do have 2 tight ends. We'll pop the roster up here in a little bit. But Grayson Mays and defensive tackle Terrion Vincent. So tons of roster movement after media days and through the first week of training camp. All this stuff was reported by James Larson, not UFL Communications, which is why Larson's tweets are put here. So with that being said, we're going to pop up some more graphic, and we're going to celebrate with some video of Anthony McFarland coming back. And you say, Bullpen, who's this Anthony McFarland guy? Well, let me tell you, he's the scattiest scat back that's ever scatted. You understand what I'm saying, producer?
Oh, yeah.
And we brought video
Man
evidence.
is talented.
Yeah. We brought video evidence. So first, we enter in for the judgment of the court, Exhibit A of the scattiest scat.
McFarland, wide open field.
That man's
speed gone. Touchdown, just like that.
He's got some amazing speed. Very quick play.
69 yards on the run and the lead.
And now we'll bring you Exhibit B of the Scattiest Scat.
Man coverage, Speedy. Here we go. Ready, go. Hot.
Speedy, he called him.
Man's got some wheels. Oh, yeah.
DC didn't stand a chance, right?
Nah, they couldn't stop him. No chance.
Running back room definitely took a step forward. And here's our latest roster. I was made fun of for using this Excel spreadsheet roster, but let me tell you, folks, something. You know how hard it is to get 60-plus players on one roster graphic that everybody can see? And depending on what you're watching it on, a cell phone or a large screen TV, I know it comes out blurry on large screen TVs, folks, because everything is stretched. I get it. This is more made for like iPads and stuff. So please forgive me if you can't read this quite clearly. But as you can see here in the running back portion, we now have Anthony McFarland and John Lovett. John Lovett is actually our leading rusher from last year. And we got Jaswan Corbin. So Lovett's the bruiser. Anthony's a scat bag, baby. Perfect combination in the background. Sam Teckelberg there at center.
We got a talented backfield.
Yeah, for sure.
Great backfield, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you can still see I got 3 names in red in here because I haven't got any confirmation other than Fox Sports that these players are on the team. But Alize Mack is coming back now with the loss of Sabert, and Jacob Harris was signed already. And then we got Derek Kelly up at left tackle. So we'll keep y'all posted on that. Anything you want to add on rosters, McFarland, Kellen Mond, anything before we move on to special events down here in San Antonio?
No, I just think we're building a great roster. I'm really excited about the upcoming season. Excited about the roster we have. I think it's an improvement over last season, and I love the guys that we got on it.
Yeah, the question we're going to have to answer is if the improvement was enough, because from what I'm looking at throughout the league, every team has improved. And are we improving enough to make it to that championship game again? And time will tell. All right. First thing, we're going to get into some events down here. So this is pretty cool down here in the San Antonio area. There is a first and goal reading program that's sponsored by the Brahmas. So you can go onto the San Antonio Brahmas website portion of the UFL page and register. There's a link there. And basically what it is for the students, every student makes a touchdown when they read a book. And if they get all signed up and they do this reading in their class and they have the educators and their families get involved, they can all get tickets. You're going to get reading requirements and goals. You're going to track student progress and then distribute instructions for getting their free ticket once they meet all those goals and stuff. It's just something to encourage reading for the youngsters down here in the San Antonio area, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I think producer would be better off if he had done a little bit more reading back in the day. What do you think, producer?
No comment.
No comment. All right. Event number 2. This is an event for everybody. This is not a season ticket holder exclusive event. This is an event for everybody that knows about it. So they're having a season kickoff event where they're going to be having a celebration with giveaways and music. Get to meet some Brahmas coaches and players. There's going to be a merch giveaway. If you're there early, you can snag a Brahmas clear tote bag. And that's important because you're only allowed to take clear bags into the Alamo Dome. So why not get one with the Brahmas logo on it? There's going to be music. DJ Fusion's going to be there representing. There's going to be a meet and greet, like we said, head coach, general manager, and some of our favorite Brahma players. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kellen Mond's going to be there. But nice little fan event. It's going to be March 22nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Pearl, 1100 Springs Plaza. Everybody knows what the Pearl is down here in San Antonio. Just go down there and look for all the black and yellow Brahmas everywhere. You going to be there, producer?
Hell yeah.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You got it in your calendar?
Oh, of course, yeah. Who wouldn't? What Brahma fan would not?
Well, I don't know. But you ready to get into some training camp talk and videos?
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Other than player signings, not a whole bunch of stuff coming out of training camp, but we have had some of the local media in San Antonio and KSAT 12 and the Express News and different people like that start writing articles, start covering the Brahmas. I might have been putting out.
Finally?
Well,
Finally?
I was going to say I might have welcomed them on Twitter, saying like, "Hey, welcome to the club. We're glad you're here."
Yeah.
So, but first things first, the Brahmas, the men have arrived. All right, producer. I'm going to give you a test. Fandom test right here, live on air. This is not going to be edited. So there's 4 main figures in those videos right there, in that picture right there from the Brahmas. Everyone knows who Wade Phillips is, but name the 3 players.
Oh, man. Well, of course, I recognize one is Anthony Mon. I think that's Kirkland. The third one on the top right, I'm not sure.
Anthony Mon?
Did I get it wrong?
It's Kellen Mond. Kirkland's correct, and that's Destroying, bro, the most famous football player in the league.
Oh,
jeez. Well, I tried. There you go,
man.
people. Now you know what I'm working with when I'm working with producer. But hey, let's move on. We got some training camp video. I checked this for copyright, but there's going to be a little sound to this. The majority of these videos were posted by the UFL on X. They also post them on Instagram. These are not my videos. None of these are my videos. These are league videos. And we'll just play a little sound and let it rock and roll. You ready, producer?
Let's go.
What's up, Brahma fans? John Trey Kirkland here. Excited to see y'all this season. Y'all pack the dome. Horns forward.
Horns forward, baby. So now we got Coach Akoff and Kirkland on this program telling you to pack the dome and buy your tickets. Horns forward. What do you think about that little training camp video, producer?
Man, beautiful, positive video. Exciting to think about the prospect of what the Brahmas are going to do this season. The teams they're going to beat, how they're going to perform. Man, I can't wait to see them in the dome. I'm so freaking excited for it. I'm looking forward to the season so much.
Yeah, speaking of seeing them in the dome, they're supposed to be doing a scrimmage here in the dome before the season. We all know the season starts in the end of March, the last weekend of March, and we play in Arlington, but there's going to be a scrimmage before that down here. So hopefully we'll get an announcement for that real soon, and we can start making plans to be down there in the dome. We're going to go ahead and pop up an interview. Let's hear from QB1 up at training camp.
Alongside a San Antonio favorite, Kellen Mond, quarterback of the San Antonio Brahmas. Kellen, you're 25 years young. You've said it yourself. You still have so much football left in you. So what excites you about the chance to play some live action football again?
I mean, one, being able to play in my hometown, San Antonio. You know, I haven't played in the Alamo Dome since, I think, 2015, 2014. So really excited to be able to play in the Dome, and then just being able to come out with guys who, a lot of these guys I've already played with on different NFL teams or trained with in the offseason. So there's already a good group of guys, and we haven't even been here a week. So a lot of us are excited, and we put the pads on tomorrow.
You're already talking chemistry, baby. Already talking chemistry. What do you think about that interview?
I like Kevin Mon as a player. I'm looking forward to the chemistry and the effort he brings to the Brahmas, the leadership he brings. But more than anything, I think he'll be a definite upgrade at quarterback. And you never know. I hope one day we get to sit down and have an interview with him. But great addition to the Brahmas, great addition to Brahmas as far as a fan goes, Brahma Bullpen. We look forward to having him here.
Yeah. And it ain't due to a lack of trying, folks. For all of you out there, if you watch this show, tweet, Instagram message, whatever, tag Kellen Mond, tell him we want you on the bullpen. Help a brother out.
Heck yeah, we
We
would get
can
him
do
on
it
here.
remote. Anyways, let's cover some more news. You ready to get out of training camp and get into some Brahma specific news?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I sent you all this stuff earlier in the week, so hopefully you had a chance to read it, digest it, and know what we're talking about. For those of you watching this, feel free to pause or go to the Express News webpage. Look up Greg Luca on there. He also posted this on X, and I did get permission from him to pull it into this video before I did so. So here's an article he wrote. Now, some of the things on here were pretty interesting. Talking about the confidence of the Brahmas because of the number of returning players coming back. Wade Phillips said on the first day of practice, he was very confident because everybody pretty much knew what they were doing. And then the new guys were able to follow the old guys. And we think that are the returning starters, not old guys, but they definitely feel like there's more talent this year than there was last year. And one of the players that was kind of highlighted in this story was Greg Ward. Do you remember Greg Ward when he played receiver for the Commanders?
I don't personally. I didn't watch the Commanders too much, but refer to them as the Redskins. But I know they were a talented group.
No.
They went far.
No. The San Antonio Commanders.
Okay. Wrong. The original Commanders. The original Commanders. Okay. Forgive me then. All right.
The flag, that Commanders.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay. All right. Well,
He also
what were you saying?
when the AF folded, he went and he's been on the roster for the Philadelphia Eagles for 3 years, 88 catches, 768 yards, which is awesome. We also got Henry Black, who played with Green Bay, was kind of highlighted in this. We got the next little part about this article. I'm going to go ahead and just move to the next page. A lot of this is talking about the coaching staff staying unchanged, but it's also talking about players that are playing for the Brahmas that truly needed a second chance. Now, we know that we talk about the UFL being a second chance league, but everyone needs a second chance, or everyone gets into some stuff sometimes that they're fortunate to get out of. One instance on here, Lonnie Phillips, he got a misdemeanor DUI. We all know how painful that could be. And he got put on probation for 12 months. That might have been a black eye for the NFL. And he got released from the Cleveland Browns because of that incident. So he lost his job because of something he was doing outside of work and having to do with alcohol and driving. Crazy deal. Linebacker Treat Carpenter was released by the Steelers for an assault charge. No one condones assault charge, especially this type where there's a lady involved. He did get a suspension and released, but hopefully he's moved on past that. Linebacker Rashad Berry, he lost his NFL opportunity when he was released by the Colts. He violated the league's gambling policy. I for one am pro players voting on themselves, but they must always take the over. That's how you fix it. You can bet on yourself. I said voting, sorry. You can bet on yourself, but you got to take the over. Okay, no sandbagging. What do you think about that?
I agree.
Get over, right?
So, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And with the news with these players, when they run across these situations, these problems off field, we all run across difficulties, but proven innocent until proven guilty. We don't know their personal circumstances, and
Yeah.
so hopefully the best for them. We want them to be outstanding individuals, outstanding members of a league. Sad to hear what they're going through, but hopefully the UFL can prove to be an opportunity for them to kind of recover and improve themselves from the situations they've been in.
Yeah, this quote in this article from our general manager, Lillibridge, basically said he specifically pushed the league about giving second chances. And he has players coming up to him, just telling him thank you, hugging him, and appreciating that second chance. You know, they might have been in a bad spot. They even tell him you're doing God's work. They feel like that he's helping them get through. So it's always nice to have a friend or someone you know that can help you through those type of situations. And who knows, maybe this is it for the Brahmas. I wouldn't recommend getting in trouble, but you know, and it's funny to think about that. We're going to talk about the strike later. So all these guys are super grateful. They're all getting second chances, but they're going to go on strike? I don't think so, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, a whole
next,
different animal. We'll get to that.
Yeah. A little bit more news going on down here in San Antonio. We talked about Project Marvel in the past. So this is going out to a vote on the May election, a non-political vote. This is a vote for where your tax dollars are going and whether or not you as a San Antonio resident wants a downtown sports and entertainment complex. We covered it before. Go back to a few episodes back and find it if you want to see all the details about Project Marvel. We even had graphics and pictures of what they're proposing down there. But this is UTSA, which those of you who don't know, UTSA is now the third largest university in the state of Texas. They're a tier 1 research institute. The only two schools bigger than UTSA now are A&M and the team in Austin that shall not be, the school in Austin that shall not be mentioned, and then UTSA in that order, in case you guys are wondering. But anyways, they did a survey down here in San Antonio. 41% of 683 voters that they polled said that they are for the downtown sports complex center. So that in turn would make you think 59% against it. Well, 15% were unsure, but 42% of respondents said they would vote in favor of a tax to help pay for the Spurs arena. So you got different things going on. You got the hemisphere portion of the vote where it's 41% against, or 41% for, excuse me. And then you got the Spurs arena, which they're 42% for. So you can see the numbers right there. There's 60% where they're either opposed or undecided. What do you think, producer? Do you think a tax increase is worth the downtown entertainment district and upgrades to the Alamo Dome?
It's kind of hard to decide on. I mean, it's a difficult proposition, especially without all the details in it. But you know what? This city needs to move forward. We're one of the largest cities in the nation. We're one of the bigger metros in the nation, especially if you combine the San Antonio and Austin area, which are very close. So if you combine those, we're definitely one of the biggest metros in the nation. We need to move forward. We need to be a world-class city, and we need to have that sports district. So there's going to be some tough choices, but we need to support that, and we need to move forward. And so as far as the Spurs arena, as far as the Alamo Dome, as far as a sports district arena, I feel confident that San Antonio needs to support that, and we need to reap the benefits of it, as many other cities have for developing such areas.
Okay, so I asked you this last time, and you would never answer the question. So I'm going to ask you again: how much are you willing to pay?
We'll see when the tax bill comes.
See, he just.
But
we need it, but don't ask me to pay for it.
We do need it, Josh.
Okay, well, how much are you willing to pay?
We do need it. Absolutely.
How much?
we'll see what it's. I'm gonna pay what it takes. That's my opinion. I don't have a clear answer on that, but I'm gonna try to support it and pay what it takes.
So I'm not asking you how much it's going to be, and I'm not telling you to tell me what the tax increase is going to be. I'm asking you to tell me what you would be willing to pay a year.
Man, that's
an increase of
a
property
difficult
taxes.
question.
It's not
That's
that
a
difficult, bro.
question because I don't have the math. I don't have the math behind it.
You don't need math. $100, $200, $500, $1,000. What are you willing to pay a year for the rest of your life?
I would say if taxes went up a couple $100 to support what's proposed, I would not oppose it.
$200. Y'all heard it first. We finally got out of him. Sorry everybody how
There you
painful that
go.
was.
There you
But
go.
we're gonna move on to some league news, get into the strike talk. So before we do, we're gonna pop up this. That's right, folks. We got graphics, league news. First bit of league news. Now, I have a video here. Producer gave it to me, and I haven't watched it, but he said we had to play it. We had to play it, and I wasn't allowed to see it before. So I'm gonna just put it out there right now. I have no idea what's about to come on here, but we're gonna go ahead and play it. Producer, are you ready for your top secret video?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, here we go. And what the heck is that all about? What is
well, that's the showboats sucking once again this year and going down, and that's the ship jumper Webb. That's
So
the ship jumper Webb bailing on it like he has every team he's ever rooted for.
So he's a ship jumper jumping off the showboat. So you're already predicting that next year he's going to root for a different team based upon this graphic.
Oh man,
and that the showboats are sinking.
I think the showboats are definitely sinking. Maybe not as bad as Houston, but definitely sinking.
Wow.
I don't know if he'll jump ship this year, but I see it in his near future to definitely jump ship.
Well, shots fired,
maybe he'll
folks.
stick with it for 2 years.
Shots fired, folks.
Yeah.
If you guys want to go check out the captain's log and see the retaliatory remarks in their next episode, please feel free to do so. But let's move on to
Brandon's going to stick with him. Webb, we'll see. Hey, if by some chance a team pops up, an expansion team in Memphis, or sorry, not Memphis, Pittsburgh, you know Webb's jumping. You know it. It's going to happen.
All right.
He will go from Memphis to Pittsburgh like instantly. So I'm not saying this completely baseless.
He did win an award for covering the most teams, the Rick Bit Award this year.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I love Webb, but he's a jumper, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough joking around. Let's get into some serious news. We got strike talk. So this is an article from UFL News Hub, written by Mike Mitchell. We all know that Mike Mitchell and Anthony Miller were with Sports Illustrated last year and covering the league, but now they're back with. I know Mike Mitchell's back with UFL News Hub. He wrote this article here, and it's kind of one of the first articles that came out sort of negative against the players, talking about putting the management in a rough spot. And it didn't help that they announced the potential strike the same day that single game tickets went on sale. And we all know that the original strike was just a pre-camp workout that they struck, that they didn't show up for. They did show up for media days. They have been at training camp all week. Nobody's striking right now. Everybody's doing their job. But the bottom line is that the United Football League, headed by the management teams of Fox Sports and Redbird Capital, are the broadcast partner. And here's Mike Mitchell's words: have just barely survived to arrive at the point we are now. So the two sides have been trying to negotiate since before training camp and as far back as December. and haven't really been able to come to terms with one another. So everyone's still here. Everyone's still going to the league. The part of the story, as Mike Mitchell saying, and this is his quote, that you won't hear is that there are several UFL players who have confided in Mike Mitchell that they're actually siding with management, meaning they want to play and they don't want to strike. They understand that the league's in a position, it's new, there's low on cash flow, and that these coaches and players are appreciative. The coaches are appreciative, players are appreciative. They want to get game film. What do you think about that, producer? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's tough. We all want to be paid more. We all want better benefits. It doesn't matter the job. It doesn't matter if you're working, part-time, full-time, if you're entry level or management level, whatever you are. We all wish for better benefits and higher pay. But when we look at this type of situation, you got to be realistic. You got to be realistic about the situation, the company you're working for. Is it feasible? And that's the thing. Is it feasible for the company to continue to increase benefits, increase pay, and yet be sustainable enough to continue business? In this situation with the startup league, you have to realize, please, as players, as individuals that may watch this show, realize that the UFL may not be in the position at this time to increase those benefits or increase that pay to the level that many would like, and yet be sustainable. So, the startup league, and we have to be reasonable with expectations. Otherwise, if more is asked than what's possible, you're looking at a collapse. And we don't want that. We don't want that as fans. We don't want that as players.
Yeah, it's that classic. Does the worker trust management? Does the management trust worker? Unions have played an important role in worker to employer relationships. I mean, they established the 40-hour work week and paid time off and healthcare benefits. They've all done things that we view as just normal in our day-to-day working lives now. But also, what onus are on the players? You see a couple of quotes here. So here's a quote from a player that if this league didn't exist today, I wouldn't be able to play pro football professionally and wouldn't be in a position to get the opportunity to get back to the NFL. And he has teammates who are making an NFL living solely because the UFL existed. We covered that. There was over 88 players signed from the UFL to the NFL at some point after last year's season. A lot of that due to the fact that they were on TV and the scouts didn't have to travel to go see them. They were able to just watch the game and see players doing things. Then there's a quote from an executive who's also not named that we might be able to concede and give the players every dollar they want to get onto the field in 2025, but it may come at the expense of 2026 and 2027 season. All I know is when this league started, it was a 4 or 5 year plan to profitability. We're 2 years in, and people are trying to get what they're trying to get. And you can't hate on no one for trying to get the money that they want to get. That's not the point here. But the point is how quick we went from thank you for the league existing last season. Thank you for getting me on the field last season to I might not go on the field if you don't pay me more or give me X this season. We don't even know what they're asking for. We don't really know all the details. But I will tell you, leagues have to be profitable. And when there's profit to share. Okay. But the players are not helping pay the bills right now, nor do I expect them to. The leagues, the owner should be doing that, and they are. But at some point, when if you were to be like, okay, we're gonna pay you 20% of profit, these players would all owe the league money, right? But then, is that true? Where's the advertising money going? All that we're not into the details. All I know is right now, there's no way that the league has made money. And for players to be like, oh, the Players Association that's representing them came out and said, oh, you got a new office building, and oh, you got a workout complex. You're making a bunch of money. We want more money. We don't even know how much money they're asking for. If they're asking for base pay right now is like 60 grand. If they're asking for it to go to 75 grand, why are we even talking about this over 15,000? It's a 10-week season, maybe 12 weeks if you make the playoff. And I get 15 grand or whatever, but you're going to get that 15 grand. Don't worry. This league just needs to continue. The pay is going to go up. So, like, what are we fighting about here? What are the discussions? What's the middle ground? But I don't think there's going to be a strike. All the players have reported to the league. So media day went off without a hitch. There's nobody. I don't think there's going to be a strike. And I think the players are basically using this opportunity to tell them what they want and giving the league the opportunity to give it to them. If the league's got it, they're going to give it to them. If the league don't got it, they're not going to give it to them. It's going to be that simple. We're going to get through the season and get on to year 3. They're already talking about expansion teams in years 3 and 4 and getting this league up to 10 or 12 teams. I just think that the players just need to hang on because they are the product. Don't get me wrong. Players are the product, and the league will not function without players. A manager can be replaced real quick. A player cannot, especially high caliber players. But these players have to realize they're not playing for a big time college school, and they're not playing for the NFL. They're also not playing for these other spring leagues that have been popping up and down. They're playing for this league has the best chance of success out of any spring league in the history of spring league. They combined resources from the XFL and the USFL to make the UFL and to give this league the ultimate chance of survival. We just got to hang on for a few years, get butts in seats, get these pairs played, get the league profitable. And people say, I'll close on this. I'll give it to you, producer. So be ready. But people are saying there's big money behind the league. Fox behind the league, Redbird Capital behind the league. That's right. Fox is investing money so that they can make money by selling advertisement to televise the games. They want to own their own content. They don't want to have to pay the NFL and all these other sports leagues billions of dollars to broadcast content. They want to own their own content. Makes sense, right? Redbird Capital, those are a bunch of hedge fund or investors, man. Capital investment groups. They put money into things. They're going to take money out. Okay, they give you the money up front so that you can operate, and then you make payments back to them. And they want to get their money. So you can't say, well, these companies have big money, so they should automatically just give these players all this stuff. They invested into a company. That company has to become profitable. And when that company becomes profitable, players and everybody get paid more money, and that's it. That's the way it works. It's called capitalism, folks. It's been around for decades. So what do you think, producer?
Well, you got to look at the model that's already been set. The NFL is the ultimate model for football as far as profitability, what makes it successful. You got to look at advertising. You got to look at premium seating, suites, endorsements, things like that. That is what drives the NFL, and so those type of things are what is needed to support and make the UFL profitable. And so, for one thing, advertising. You look at advertising. We've got to watch it. We've got to cover the UFL. Make sure that there's good viewership. We got to pay attention as far as the viewership and butts and seats, suites. Companies got to pay attention. They got to be there for the UFL. Buy suites, buy premium seating. So we have to support the league in these ways. As far as the players go, they got to understand the situation the league's in and support the league. Once again, it's not always easy, especially compared to what your expectations may be. But you got to understand the employer that you're working for and the financial situation, helping them get on the ground, supporting the league as far as getting a footing and becoming profitable. Once the league becomes profitable, then you can make such demands. But until then, if you're going to be an employer of that league, then your job is to support the league in its effort to become profitable. Until that point, demands are kind of difficult to request. Support the league. Let's become profitable as players, as fans, as corporations. Let's support the UFL and let's see what it can become as far as a league that can support these players in their efforts to help themselves, get back to the NFL or get to the NFL, but also be profitable for the cities and the league as a whole.
So you said profitable like 95 times there in that monologue. One answer, yes or no. Do we miss games? One word.
I really hope
One
not.
word.
No, I
Okay,
think the league
well,
figures this out.
Okay, that's more than one word. Last one. Is the league coming back next year? Yes or no?
I believe so.
This guy cannot say one word. No, we will
Yes.
not miss games.
Yes.
Yes, the league's coming back. We're going to
Yes.
end it right there like we always do, everybody, with a nice horns forward. Let's go Brahmas, baby.